The ominous sky, the sky above the great city, was not normal that evening. People had seen many storms in their lives, but never like this. Clouds rolled together in strange shapes, glowing with light from inside. Bolts of green and white lightning danced across the sky. The air itself was heavy, making it hard to breathe. Children clung to their parents, and even the bravest men looked afraid. The tall buildings of the city trembled as the storm grew bigger. Birds screamed and fled from the sky, flying in every direction. The sun had disappeared, leaving only a strange silver glow that spread across the clouds. People stopped there. Workmen stepped outside, looking up. Cars halted on the roads, their drivers staring at the heavens in shock. It was as if the world itself had frozen, waiting for something to happen. Then, from the center of the storm, came a sound. It was not thunder, nor wind, nor any natural thing. It was a voice deep and ancient, echoing across the sky like 1,000 drums. "People of Earth," it said, "your time of judgment has come." The crowd gasped. Some dropped to their knees, others ran for cover. But most stood still, too shocked to move. The clouds parted slowly, like a curtain being pulled away. Behind them was a structure floating in the air. It was an arena, massive and shining, built of metal and light. Its walls glowed with strange symbols that no human could understand. It hovered above the city with power beyond science. Every eye was locked on it, every heart filled with fear. A beam of light shot down from the arena. It touched the ground in the center of the city, forming a glowing platform. The voice returned, louder this time, shaking the earth. "Two champions will fight for your world," it said, "one of your kind and one of ours." The people looked at each other in disbelief. Whispers spread, voices trembling. Who could face such a challenge? Then the ground shook. Heavy footsteps echoed through the streets. The beam of light widened, and from the shadows, a figure appeared. It was Hulk, the green giant, his massive frame towering above all. His skin glowed faintly under the storm's light, his muscles tense like coiled steel. He did not speak, he only looked up at the arena, his eyes burning with rage and determination. The people's fear shifted to hope. Some shouted his name, others clapped their hands with trembling joy. Hulk, the protector, the monster of Earth, the indestructible force, if anyone could fight for humanity, it was him. He stepped onto the glowing platform, each footstep sending small quakes through the street. The light carried him upward, slowly, lifting him toward the arena and the sky. But the storm was not done. The clouds swirled faster, lightning cracking louder. The voice returned one final time, darker and colder than before. "Your champion will face ours, a warrior of balance, a judge of strength, a hunter of worlds." The people froze again, their hearts sinking. If Hulk was their hope, then who or what was the challenger? The arena glowed brighter as Hulk entered. He stood on the metallic floor, his fists clenched, his breath steady. All around him, walls of energy rose high, forming a battlefield in the sky. The crowd below could see everything through the storm. It was like watching gods prepare for war. Mothers held their children close, men whispered prayers, and all eyes stayed fixed above. For a moment, there was silence. Even the storm seemed to pause, waiting. Hulk looked around, his body ready, his mind burning with one thought only: protect Earth, no matter the cost. His chest rose and fell like thunder. His fists crackled with anger waiting to be unleashed. Then, from the far side of the arena, a shape began to appear. The light bent and twisted, forming a figure at first. It was only a shadow, tall and powerful, with sharp edges glowing in white fire. The crowd below gasped again, though they could not see clearly. Even Hulk narrowed his eyes, sensing the danger. The storm screamed louder, as if announcing the coming of something greater. And then, the voice whispered one word, a name that chilled the city: the White Tiger Man. The people did not know the name, but the way it was spoken filled their hearts with dread. It was the arrival of something alien, something ancient, something that judged not with mercy. But with power, Hulk tightened his fists, the ground beneath him cracking from his strength. The storm raged above, the arena glowed, and the world held its breath. The battle for Earth had only begun. The arrival of White Tiger Man, the storm. Above, the arena twisted into strange shapes. Lightning turned white instead of yellow, flashing like blades across the clouds. The crowd below felt the air grow colder, as if the city itself had been trapped in ice. Even Hulk, standing inside the Skyborne arena, felt a strange pressure pushing against his chest. It was not just power, it was something more, something ancient and heavy, a force that wanted to test, to measure, and to judge. The metallic floor of the arena began to hum. Lines of light spread across it like veins. Glowing brighter and brighter, Hulk planted his feet, his fists tightening. His eyes locked on the far side. The storm roared. And from the lightning itself, a figure stepped forward, slowly, carefully, like a hunter entering its hunting ground. The figure was tall, taller than any human. Though not as massive as Hulk, it was lean, but every muscle moved with perfect strength and precision. Its skin was covered with white fur, marked by glowing silver stripes that shimmered under the storm's light. Its face was both human and beast, with sharp feline eyes burning gold, and long fangs gleaming under the flashes of lightning. Its claws extended slowly, curving like blades forged from the stars. The air around it rippled with energy, making the ground beneath tremble. The voice returned, deep and echoing. "Behold, the White Tiger Man," it said, "the judge of species, the hunter of worlds, the one who decides who is worthy to survive." The crowd below gasped, many falling silent, some weeping, for the first time. People understood. This was not just a fight, it was a trial. If Hulk lost, Earth would lose its freedom. Humanity itself would bow before alien judgment. The White Tiger Man's golden eyes locked on Hulk. There was no anger in them, no mercy either. They were eyes of balance, cold and steady, like a predator that only knew one law, the law of the strongest. He bowed his head slightly, not in respect but in ritual. Then he raised one clawed hand and dragged it across the air. A tear of white light appeared, glowing and sharp. It was not a weapon in his hand, it was the universe itself bending to his will. Hulk let out a low growl, his massive body tensing. His fists cracked the metal floor as he struck them together, the sound echoing like thunder. The crowd below shouted his name, their voices rising against the storm. Hulk heard them, he felt them, their fear and their hope mixed into one. He roared, a sound so powerful it shook the arena walls. The White Tiger Man only tilted his head, calm, steady, waiting for a moment. Silence returned. The two warriors stood across from each other, the storm swirling above, the city trembling below. The world seemed frozen, caught in the weight of what was about to begin. The White Tiger Man lifted his arm, his claws glowing brighter. Then he moved fast, impossibly fast. One heartbeat he was standing far away. The next he was inches from Hulk. Hulk swung his fist like a hammer of stone. But the White Tiger Man bent and twisted, his body flowing like water. The fist missed, and claws slashed across Hulk's chest. Sparks of green energy bursting from the wound. The crowd screamed, their hope shaking. But Hulk did not fall. He only growled louder. His rage burned hotter, his strength rising like a storm inside him. The White Tiger Man stepped back, his eyes narrowing slightly. He had tested Hulk, measured his reaction. He spoke for the first time, his voice calm and cold. "You are strong, but strength without control is chaos. Show me if you are worthy, or fall like the others." His claws gleamed. His tail swayed slowly behind him, every movement perfect. Like a predator ready for the kill, Hulk pounded his chest with his fists, roaring so loud the storm shook above. His muscles swelled, his body glowing faintly green. He leapt forward, the arena floor cracking under his feet. The White Tiger Man met him head-on, claws against fists, light against rage. When they collided, The shockwave rippled across the sky, shaking windows in the city below. The people cried out, shielding their eyes from the blinding light. And then the two separated, standing again on opposite sides of the arena. The floor was cracked between them, glowing sparks rising into the storm. The White Tiger Man's golden eyes narrowed. Hulk's chest heaved with fury, his fists dripping green energy. The trial had truly begun, and the fate of Earth hung on every strike to come. The first clash, the arena floated above the city like a burning star. The storm circled it endlessly, lightning cutting the sky into pieces. The people below held their breath, eyes locked on the battlefield where Hulk and the White Tiger Man faced each other, two forces of nature, two warriors who carried the weight of worlds on their shoulders. For a long moment, neither moved. The silence was heavy, broken only by the rumble of thunder. Hulk's green body glowed faintly with energy, every muscle tense, fists clenched like mountains ready to fall. The White Tiger Man stood calm, balanced, claws extended, his golden eyes glowing with cold light. They were opposites, rage against balance, chaos against order, and yet both were bound by one rule: only one would stand victorious. Then it began. Hulk roared, a sound that made the city shake. He charged forward, each step cracking the metal floor, sending sparks into the air. The White Tiger Man did not run, he moved like lightning, slipping to the side as Hulk's massive fist came down like a meteor. The floor shattered, glowing fragments flying into the storm. But Hulk was already turning, swinging again. The arena rang with the sound of raw power. The White Tiger Man twisted his body, graceful as a dancer yet deadly as a predator. He slashed with his claws, leaving glowing trails of white energy in the air. Each strike cut across Hulk's skin, shallow but burning. Hulk growled, his anger rising, his eyes glowing brighter. He swung both fists in a double strike, the shockwave sending the White Tiger Man sliding back across the floor. But he landed on his feet, calm, steady, his tail lashing slowly behind him. The crowd below roared, their voices echoing into the storm. They wanted Hulk to win. They prayed for him, but fear filled their hearts too. For the White Tiger Man was not only strong, he was fast, too fast. He moved like a shadow, striking and vanishing, leaving Hulk swinging at air. Every miss made Hulk angrier. Every slash made his rage burn hotter. And the more he raged, the stronger his body glowed. The White Tiger Man tilted his head, studying him. "Your power rises with anger," he said, his voice calm as the storm roared around him. "But rage without wisdom is the path to destruction." Hulk only roared in reply, his voice shaking the arena walls. Words did not matter to him, only the fight, only survival, only victory. They clashed again, this time at the center of the arena, claws against fists, fury against precision. Each blow was like thunder. Each clash sent shockwaves across the sky. Windows shattered in the city below, glass raining on the streets. The people screamed, but still looked upward, unable to turn away. It was not just a fight, it was a storm made flesh, a battle too great to ignore. Hulk slammed his fist into the floor, breaking it apart. The shockwave rolled toward the White Tiger Man like an earthquake, but the Tiger Warrior leapt into the air, spinning gracefully, his claws glowing with cosmic fire. He came down on Hulk's back, slashing deep. Hulk roared in pain but spun, grabbing the White Tiger Man by the arm. With a surge of fury, he slammed him into the ground, shaking the entire arena. The crowd erupted, shouting Hulk's name. For a moment, it looked as if the fight was turning. Hulk raised both fists, ready to smash down to end it. But the White Tiger Man's eyes flashed. He twisted, rolling out of Hulk's grasp, moving faster than the eye could follow. In one breath, he was behind Hulk again, claws cutting across his side, sparks of green energy spraying into the air. Hulk staggered but did not fall. His breath came heavy, his chest rising like a mountain in storm. The White Tiger Man landed lightly, calm again, watching, waiting. Every move he made was not random. It was measured. It was a test. The trial was not only about strength, but control, discipline, the ability to endure without breaking. And Hulk, though powerful, was a storm barely held in chains. The people below began to whisper, could Hulk really win against such a foe? He was strong, yes, unstoppable at times, but the White Tiger Man was different. He was not just a fighter, he was a judge, and his strikes were not wild, they were lessons. Each claw was like a question, are you truly worthy, or are you only rage? Hulk's eyes burned brighter, his wounds glowing green. He pounded his chest, roaring louder than ever, his voice filled with fury and defiance. The White Tiger Man raised his claws, glowing brighter, his golden eyes narrowing. The first clash had ended, but the real battle was only beginning. The storm above cracked open, lightning spilling like rivers of fire. The fate of Earth trembled in every heartbeat, every strike, every roar. The world watched as rage and balance prepared to collide again. Power unleashed. The storm above the arena grew heavier. Thunder rolled like drums of war. Lightning tore across the sky in wild streaks. The people below held their breath, their eyes wide as they watched the two titans. Hulk stood in the center of the battlefield, his body heaving with rage, his wounds glowing green. The White Tiger Man stood calm and steady, his white fur shining under the storm's glow, his silver stripes pulsing with power. For a moment, silence ruled the arena. It was the kind of silence that comes before the breaking of a mountain. The White Tiger Man raised one claw, his golden eyes burning brighter. The energy around him shifted. The air rippled as if reality itself feared him. Then the floor beneath his feet cracked, and from his claws, white fire erupted. Not ordinary fire, but cosmic energy, pure and sharp, like stars condensed into light. The crowd gasped, their voices turning into screams. They saw the power of something not from Earth, something divine, something terrifying. The White Tiger Man slashed the air once, and a blade of white light flew out, cutting across the arena floor. The metal split open like paper, glowing cracks spreading out in all directions. Even Hulk's eyes widened for a moment, sensing danger, but then his mouth twisted into a snarl, and his fury answered. Hulk slammed his fists together, the sound echoing like a cannon across the sky. Green light exploded from his body, wrapping him in a burning aura. The wounds on his chest and arms glowed brighter, not as weakness but as fuel. Every drop of pain only made him stronger. He roared, his voice rising above the storm, shaking buildings below. The people screamed his name, clinging to hope, believing in his strength. The White Tiger Man darted forward, faster than lightning, his claws glowing brighter. Hulk charged to meet him, his fists crackling with raw green force. When they collided, the sky itself seemed to scream. The shockwave rippled outward, tearing the storm into pieces. Windows shattered across the city, cars flipped, trees bent as if bowing to the gods of war. Above it all, the arena shook, its glowing walls straining to contain the battle. The White Tiger Man struck again and again, claws slashing in blinding arcs. Each strike left burning trails of light. In the air, sparks flying off Hulk's skin, Hulk swung his fists with endless fury, each blow heavy enough to crush mountains. When fist and claw met, the entire arena shuddered. The city below glowed with flashes of green and white. It was like watching two stars colliding in the heavens for the first time. Hulk was pushed back. The White Tiger Man's speed was overwhelming, his precision unmatched. But Hulk refused to fall. Every step back only made him angrier, stronger, more dangerous. His aura flared brighter, his skin glowing with cracks of green fire. The White Tiger Man's calm eyes narrowed. He saw what was happening. The monster was evolving. Hulk slammed both fists into the ground. The arena floor cracked apart, waves of green energy bursting outward. The White Tiger Man leapt into the air, spinning through the storm with perfect grace. But Hulk roared and leapt after him, meeting him in the sky. For a heartbeat, They clashed above the arena, claws and fists locked, energy exploding in every direction. The storm itself bent around them. Lightning pulled into their power like moths to flame. They crashed back down, the arena trembling, cracks spreading wider. The people below screamed again, fearing the entire city would fall. Hulk's chest heaved, his fists dripping with green fire. The white tiger man's claws glowed so bright they were almost blinding. Both warriors glared at each other, both unbroken, both unwilling to stop. The white tiger man finally spoke again, his voice sharp and cold. You grow with rage, but rage without control destroys all it touches. He raised his claws high, cosmic fire swirling into a storm around his arms. You are powerful, but power without balance is nothing, Hulk only growled. His eyes glowing like burning suns, he smashed his fists together, sending a shockwave so strong it knocked dust into the clouds. The white tiger man leapt forward, striking with both claws at once. Hulk met him with a furious uppercut, green energy blazing from his arm. The two forces collided, and the entire arena was drowned in light. The people below shielded their eyes. Blinded by the explosion, thunder rolled louder than ever. Lightning rained down from the broken sky. The very air seemed to tear apart. When the light faded, both warriors still stood, but the arena was scarred. Great cracks running through its metallic floor, glowing with unstable energy. Hulk's body was battered, but his eyes burned hotter than fire. The white tiger man's fur was marked with green, scorched lines, but his balance never faltered. Both bled, both hurt, but neither would fall. The people below felt hope and fear twisting together in their hearts. This was no ordinary fight. It was a war of gods, a judgment that would decide their fate. The white tiger man's tail lashed slowly, his golden eyes locked on Hulk. Hulk pounded his chest, roaring louder than ever, his aura burning like a green sun. Both warriors knew the true battle had only just begun, and the next clash would shake not only the city, but the world itself. A deadly trick. The arena shook, cracks glowing under the feet of the two warriors. The people below had seen fists and claws collide like thunder, but what came next was different. The storm above grew silent. The lightning paused in the clouds, and even the thunder held its breath. The white tiger man straightened his body, his claws glowing faintly, but his golden eyes burned brighter. Hulk stood tall, his chest heaving, his aura blazing like a green firestorm. Both fighters were hurt, but the white tiger man's calm eyes hinted that something more dangerous was about to begin. The white tiger man slowly closed his eyes. He raised his arms outward, his claws drawing invisible lines in the air. The cracks on the arena floor glowed brighter, pulsing with white light. Then suddenly, the air itself rippled, bending and twisting. Hulk growled, sensing something wrong, his fists tightening. But when he swung at the figure before him, his blow passed through empty air. The crowd gasped, pointing and screaming, because now there were not one, but many. Dozens of white tiger men stood across the arena, circling Hulk. Each one looked real, each one glowing with the same cosmic fire. They moved together, stepping in perfect rhythm, their claws shining, their golden eyes locked on Hulk. It was impossible to tell which was real. Hulk roared, his rage exploding. He swung his fists in all directions, smashing the floor, breaking walls of light. But every time he hit, the figure dissolved like smoke, only to reappear again. The illusions mocked him, closing in tighter, slashing from all sides. Glowing scars spread across his chest and arms, each one burning like fire. For the first time, Hulk's steps faltered, his breath heavy with confusion. The white tiger man's voice echoed across the arena. But it was not from one mouth, it came from all, overlapping, surrounding Hulk. You are strong, but your mind is weak, it whispered. You fight with rage, but rage blinds you. Rage makes you swing at shadows. The crowd below grew silent, their hope trembling. They saw Hulk swinging wildly, his mighty strength wasted against illusions. Hulk growled again, his rage rising higher. His aura burned brighter, shaking the arena walls, but the more he roared, the more illusions appeared. Now the arena was filled with them, hundreds of glowing white tiger men. They stalked around him, moving like a circle of predators around prey, their golden eyes gleaming, their claws glowing. Their whispers filling the storm. Chaos, they said. That is what you are. Chaos cannot lead. Chaos cannot win. Hulk staggered, his chest heaving, his fists bloody and raw. The wounds cut by the illusions bled with glowing green energy. The crowd cried out, some begging Hulk to fight smarter, others too afraid to speak. Children buried their faces in their parents' arms, unable to watch. It seemed as if the trial was already lost. But deep inside Hulk's chest, something burned, a memory, not of rage but of trust. He remembered the people below, their voices calling his name, their hope placed in his fists. He remembered battles fought before, not only with strength, but with heart. And in that moment, Hulk stopped moving, his fists lowered. His breath slowed, his eyes narrowed. The illusions circled, slashing, whispering, trying to break him. But Hulk did not swing, he did not roar. Instead, he closed his eyes, listening, feeling. The storm around him bent, the air rippled, the energy shifted, and in the chaos of hundreds, Hulk felt it. The heartbeat of one. The real white tiger man, hiding in the storm of shadows. Hulk's eyes snapped open, glowing brighter than ever. He roared. But this time it was not wild, it was focused. Sharp as a blade, he leapt forward, ignoring the illusions. His fists aimed at one figure only. The illusions tried to block him, dozens rushing in his path, but Hulk smashed through them, their bodies breaking into smoke and light. He reached the real one, his fist glowing green like a star. The punch landed. The white tiger man staggered back, the illusions collapsing in a wave of shattered light. The crowd below erupted in cheers, their voices shaking the sky. Hulk stood tall, bloodied but unbroken, his chest heaving, his eyes burning. The white tiger man wiped a streak of green fire from his chest. For the first time, his calm eyes narrowed. Not in anger, but in recognition. You are not only rage, he said, his voice low and steady. There is something more in you. Something I did not see, Hulk growled in reply, pounding his chest, his aura burning brighter. The storm above screamed again, lightning crashing down around the arena. The illusions were gone. But the trial was far from over. The white tiger man's claws glowed brighter than ever, his body pulsing with cosmic fire. The people below knew what it meant. The trick had failed, and now the real fight would rise again. But the scars on Hulk's body told the truth. He was hurt, weakened, yet unbroken. The white tiger man flexed his claws, his tail lashing slowly, his golden eyes sharp. The predator had tested his prey, and now the true hunt would begin. The air thickened, the arena groaned, the storm roared back to life, and as both warriors stepped forward again, the world held its breath. The deadly trick was over, but the war for Earth had only just begun. Hulk's hidden strength, the illusions had vanished, the echoes of trickery broken, but the scars on Hulk's chest and arms still burned. Glowing with green fire, the white tiger man stood tall at the far side of the arena, his claws gleaming brighter, his golden eyes locked on his opponent. The storm swirled above, thunder growling low like a beast waiting to strike. The people below looked up in silence, their hope fragile, their fear growing. For though Hulk had shattered the illusions, his body was heavy, his breath ragged, and the fight was far from over. The white tiger man tilted his head slightly. You survived my trial of the mind, he said, his voice calm, his words cutting through the storm. But survival is not enough. Strength without growth is weakness, and weakness cannot protect a world. He raised his claws, white fire swirling around him, filling the arena with blinding light. The people gasped, shielding their eyes, their hearts trembling. Hulk growled low, his fists trembling. But something in him refused to fall. The green giant closed his eyes for a moment, and in that darkness he heard them, the voices of the people below, they shouted his name, they prayed for his strength, their fear and their hope blending into one. He remembered every battle, every fight, every moment when humanity had looked at him not with fear but with trust. He had always been the monster, the weapon, the rage without end. But now, standing in the arena of the sky, he realized he was also their shield, their last hope, their strength. Hulk opened his eyes, and something changed. His roar rose again, but it was different now. Not only rage, but purpose. The arena trembled as his body began to glow, his veins burning with pure green light. The cracks on his skin, where the white tiger man had cut him, pulsed like rivers of fire. His muscles swelled, not just with anger, but with energy that seemed older, deeper, something cosmic. It was as if the storm itself was feeding him, as if the universe had chosen to answer his roar. The crowd below gasped, then shouted louder. They had seen Hulk grow strong with rage before, but never like this. His body was wrapped in green flames, his eyes glowing like twin stars. Every breath he took shook the walls of the arena. Every step cracked the metallic floor. He was not only the Hulk anymore, he was something greater. Something rising. The white tiger man's eyes narrowed, his tail flicking, sensing the shift. Hulk pounded his chest, the sound like a war drum. The air around him bent, pulling lightning from the sky, twisting it into green fire. He roared again, and the storm obeyed. Bolts of lightning crashed into his body, but instead of burning him, they became part of him. The crowd screamed in awe, unable to believe what they were seeing. The monster had become more than monster. He had become a storm given flesh. The white tiger man dashed forward, his claws glowing with cosmic fire. But Hulk moved faster than before, his body burning with energy. He swung a fist, and the shockwave of his punch tore through the illusions of air, knocking the white tiger man back. The tiger warrior slid across the floor, his golden eyes widening for the first time. Hulk did not pause. He charged, smashing the floor with every step, green fire exploding from his fists. Each strike now carried not only rage, but focus, a deadly balance born from both chaos and control. The white tiger man slashed upward, his claws leaving arcs of white light, but Hulk caught them in his hands, the energy burning against his palms. With a roar, he twisted, slamming the tiger warrior into the arena wall, the entire structure shaking under the impact. The crowd below erupted, their voices a storm of hope and joy. For the first time they believed, they truly believed Hulk could win. The white tiger man rose, his fur singed, his stripes glowing brighter, his Kong cracked but not broken. He spoke again, his voice sharper now. You carry the strength of your people, but strength borrowed is fragile. Show me your true self, not their voices, not their hopes, only you. His claws blazed brighter, cosmic fire swirling into the shape of blades longer than his body. The storm above bent again, answering his call, but Hulk only roared louder, his aura pushing back the fire, his fists glowing like emerald suns. For the first time, it was not clear who held the greater power. The two warriors charged, claw against fist, white fire against green storm. The clash was deafening, the light blinding, the energy tearing the sky apart. The arena groaned, its metallic floor splitting into deep cracks, sparks raining into the city below. The people screamed and prayed, their eyes locked on the storm of power above. Every strike sent shockwaves through the clouds, every roar shook the earth. Hulk fought differently now. He did not swing wildly. He struck with purpose, with focus, with balance. He blocked. He countered. He moved with a rhythm he had never known before. The white tiger man slashed again and again, but for the first time his strikes did not cut as deep. Hulk had learned. Hulk had grown, and Hulk was no longer only rage. He was rage, with direction, fury with meaning. The white tiger man leapt back, his golden eyes narrowing. He could feel it. The monster was changing, becoming something greater. This was no longer only a trial. It was a true test of destiny. The storm above screamed, torn apart by the forces colliding in the sky. The people below cried out, their voices rising together, not in fear now, but in unity. Their champion had found his hidden strength. Hulk stood tall, his body wrapped in green fire, his eyes glowing like suns, his chest heaved. His fists dripped with cosmic energy. The white tiger man's calm mask cracked, his claws blazing brighter than ever. Both warriors knew the truth. The next clash would decide not just the battle, but the fate of Earth itself, and as they stepped forward, the storm screamed, the arena shook, and the world held its breath. The Skyborne showdown. The storm had grown so violent that the very sky looked broken. Lightning poured down like rivers of light. Thunder roared like 1,000 drums, and the floating arena glowed with cracks of fire. Below, the city trembled. Every soul watching the two giants preparing for the final clash. The white tiger man stood tall, his silver-striped fur glowing with cosmic fire, his golden eyes sharper than blades. Hulk stood across from him, his massive frame wrapped in burning green light, his eyes glowing like suns. They were more than fighters now. They were forces of nature, two storms walking in human shape. For a long moment, the arena was silent. The two warriors breathed heavy, their bodies scarred, their auras raging like wild flames. The people below did not blink, afraid to miss even a heartbeat. This was the end. They knew it. The moment that would decide if Earth remained free or fell under alien judgment. The white tiger man raised his claws. They blazed brighter than ever, stretching into long blades of white fire, pulsing with cosmic energy. The ground beneath him cracked, glowing symbols appearing, ancient and unknown. The storm bent around him, as if the sky itself bowed to his command. He spoke, his voice calm but heavy like thunder. You have proven stronger than I expected, Hulk, but strength without destiny is nothing. This is the end. Hulk pounded his chest, his roar rising louder than the storm. Green fire burned brighter around him, arcs of lightning drawn into his aura like sparks to a flame. His muscles swelled, his veins glowed, his entire body pulsed like a living star. He growled, his voice rough but filled with purpose. This is not the end. This is Earth's fight, and I will not fall. The arena groaned under their power, cracks widened, glowing energy spilling into the air. The walls of light that surrounded the battlefield flickered, as if even they could not contain what was coming. The crowd below screamed, prayed, begged, their voices rising together into the storm. The final clash was no longer just between two warriors. It was between hope and despair, freedom and chains. Then they moved, both at once, both faster than sight. The white tiger man's claws slashed forward, arcs of white fire ripping the air apart. Hulk's fists swung like meteors, green flames exploding with every strike. When they met, the world shook, the shockwave tearing the clouds into pieces. The city below rattled as if caught in an earthquake. Windows shattered, towers swayed, the ground cracked. The white tiger man struck again, faster, sharper. His claws cut across Hulk's chest, leaving glowing wounds that burned with cosmic fire. But Hulk did not slow. He only roared louder, smashing his fists into the ground. Green shockwaves burst upward, knocking the white tiger man into the air. Hulk leapt after him, the two colliding in midair. The impact flashed like a second sun. Over the city, they crashed back to the arena floor, the metal buckling under their weight. The white tiger man rolled, landing on his feet, slashing with claws that tore through steel. Hulk met him with a furious uppercut, sending him skidding across the arena. The people below erupted in cheers, their hope burning again. But the tiger warrior was not finished. He rose, his fur smoking, his claws glowing brighter than ever, his golden eyes filled with deadly resolve. With a roar, he unleashed his greatest attack. A storm of white fire spread from his claws, filling the arena. The energy grew into a massive dome, a cage of cosmic light that began to collapse inward. If it touched Hulk, it would erase him completely. The people below screamed, their hearts breaking. They saw their champion trapped in a cage of death. But Hulk stood firm, his fists glowing brighter than ever. He pounded his chest once, twice, 3 times, the sound echoing like war drums. His roar split the storm, a cry so loud it made the very sky tremble. Green fire erupted around him, not wild but focused. A perfect storm of rage and will. He planted his feet, raised his fists high, and smashed them together. The shockwave exploded outward, colliding with the white dome. The two forces clashed, green storm against white fire, chaos against balance, rage against judgment. The arena shook, the cracks glowing like rivers of molten light. The storm above ripped open, revealing stars behind the clouds. For a moment, it looked as if the entire sky would tear apart. The people below cried, screamed, and held each other. The fate of the world hung in that single clash then. The explosion came. Light brighter than the sun filled the arena. The shockwave rolled across the sky, shaking the city, blowing out fires, silencing the storm. For long seconds, nothing could be seen, only light, only silence. The people below held their breath, afraid to speak, afraid to hope. When the light finally faded, the arena was broken. Half of its floor had collapsed, chunks of glowing metal falling into the clouds. The white tiger man stood on one side, his body trembling, his claws cracked, his fur burned. Across from him stood Hulk, his chest heaving, his fists dripping with green fire, his body scarred but unbroken. The crowd erupted into cheers, their voices shaking the air. The white tiger man's golden eyes met Hulk's glowing green. For the first time, the tiger warrior lowered his claws. He stood straight, his chest rising slowly, his golden eyes softening. He bowed his head, not in defeat, but in respect. "You are not only rage," he said, his voice low but steady. "You are strength with will, fury with purpose, chaos with heart. Humanity has proven its worth." The storm began to fade, the clouds slowly breaking apart. The arena's glow dimmed, its cracked ceiling, its light softening. The white tiger man turned, his body dissolving into streams of silver fire. Before vanishing, he looked once more at Hulk. "Earth is safe for now, but more trials will come. Be ready." And then he was gone, swallowed by the fading storm. Hulk stood alone in the arena, his chest rising, his fists unclenching slowly. The people below roared his name, their voices thundering louder than the storm had ever been. He looked down at them, their hope, their trust, their belief shining upward, and for the first time, Hulk did not feel only rage. He felt something deeper, something stronger. He felt pride. The arena faded away, dissolving into sparks of light. Hulk descended slowly, carried down by a beam of green glow. When his massive feet touched the ground, the people ran to him, cheering, shouting, crying. He stood among them, their champion, their monster, their protector, and above, the sky cleared, revealing a bright moon and stars shining like witnesses. The Skyborne showdown had ended. Earth was safe, but whispers of more battles yet to come lingered in the air. For every victory only opened the door to greater challenges. But tonight, humanity celebrated, and their champion stood strong. The Hulk had not only fought, he had become something greater, and the universe would remember his roar.